Pick up where we left off in the last episode. Warp to the Hunter's Nightmare via the solitary headstone near the Chalice Dungeon tombstones. All of the lamps from the DLC are accessed from here, and today's video is no exception. Once back in the Nightmare, take the door straight ahead and use the shortcut we opened in the previous video to make it back to the Grand Cathedral. Only this time, take a right and pass through the tunnel cut into the mountainside. On the other side of this tunnel, you'll find yourself in one of Yharnam's great bridges, but be careful not to rush forward too quickly, as there are several mounted turrets that will shoot at you. Either time your movements so that you roll from cover to cover during the breaks and firing, or dodge directly through the bullets with proper timing, making your way to the other end of this Latria-esque trap. These turrets can be destroyed by attacking or rolling into them, so do yourself a favor and take them out before battling the huntsmen found at the end. Further ahead, a group of huntsmen armed with delayed Molotovs block your path. These are essentially what their name suggests, a timed, thrown explosive. Just past these three lies another old huntsman equipped with a boom hammer, so take the standard varieties out quickly so that you don't become overwhelmed. Pressing forward, step into the darkened house from the beginning of Central Yharnam. Straight ahead, pick up the 5 delayed Molotovs, the first new consumable of the DLC. While these inflict similar damage to standard Molotovs, their throwing arc is much lower to the ground and their explosion is obviously, well, delayed. I found these items to be of only real use after running out of the standard Molotovs. You're technically on the second floor of the house, so take the stairs down to the first floor, taking out any huntsman you encounter as you do so. The wheelchair hunter guards a treasure, just as he did in Central Yharnam, but this time, the trap is a little different. After escaping the explosion's radius, pick up the boom hammer. Similar to the Tonitrus, this blunt damage weapon has a buff mapped to its L1. While the Tonitrus' bolt buff is based on time, the boom hammer's fire buff is based only on the next hit, meaning it can hold its buff for an indefinite amount of time. Requiring 14 strength and 8 skill, this weapon certainly has the potential to change the pace of combat. Leave through the leftmost door on the first floor of the house, and make your way up the stairs. Up ahead is an NPC hunter using the Beast Claw, and a new Covenant rune that expands his moveset. This is one of the harder hunters, and can definitely chew through your blood vials with his fast and heavy attacks. It may take you a few tries to defeat him, but there's always parries if all else fails. Killing this beast hunter allows you to obtain the Firing Hammer Badge, a trinket belonging to the powder kegs. Possession of this badge unlocks delayed Molotovs, delayed rope Molotovs, and the piercing rifle and the Hunter's Dream Shot. This new rifle can be a decent source of damage against a crowd of enemies, because as the name suggests, the bullets do pierce through multiple opponents. This new firearm costs 20,000 blood echoes and requires 9 strength, 11 skill, and 9 blood tinge. After picking up the badge, return to the upper floor of the house and drop down from the hanging doorway to reach this alternative hat to the old hunter set. Whether you drop down to pick up the top hat, or step directly out into the street from the floor below, you will have to enter the River of Blood regardless. This place is swarming with blood lickers, and if you've seen my video on Canehurst, you know how I hate these things. To the right is a dead end we'll explore in a moment, but first, take a left, running past these enemies, and climb the stairs to reach the relative safety of the small bridge. There are several huntsmen armed with the piercing rifle, but you can use this overturned coach as cover and take them out one by one. After crossing the bridge, keep forward to enter the chapel up ahead. At the end of the hallway, speak to Simon, who offers little more than flavor dialogue, but will become an important NPC later.
You're a hunter with your sanity, aren't you? Must have taken a wrong turn then, eh? Well, we're more alike than you think. This is the hunter's nightmare, where hunters end up when drunk with blood. You've seen them before. Aimless, wandering hunters slavering like beasts. This is what the poor fools have to look forward to. So, don't be brash. Turn back before it's too late. Unless you've something of an interest in nightmares. Oh yes, I see. You sense a secret within the nightmare and cannot bear to leave it be. As if the spirit of Bergenworth lives on within you, such inquisitive hunters will relish the nightmare. But beware, secrets are secrets for a reason, and some do not wish to see them uncovered, especially when the secrets are particularly unseemly.
Opening the doors at the end of the hallway serves as a shortcut back to the original lamp. We've effectively made a giant circle. Shortcut acquired, head back the way you came and keep right. Following the ramp up will lead you to the first piece of a new set, the Constable Gloves. Now make your way back to the River of Blood, heading left. At this point, we'll explore the dead end I spoke of earlier. Running past the Bloodlickers, a scurrying beast marks the entrance of the cave. This cave is both very dark and filled with powerful enemies. You'll need to make sure you have plenty of blood vials, as well as a reliable light source. The first enemy is an NPC hunter equipped with the Gatling gun. By strafing around the large rock to his right, you can avoid his line of fire for the most part. When he stops firing, get in close and be aggressive, only watch out for the saw spear equipped in his other hand. Defeating this hunter grants you nothing less than the Gatling gun. Modeled after Jira's turret, this gun requires an outrageous 28 strength, 12 skill, and sports lackluster blood tinge scaling. Only certain builds will be able to utilize this weapon, although I suppose it's meant to be more of an amusing choice than a viable one. Continuing deeper in the cave, kill the wolfmen by pulling them from afar. At the far end, there is nothing short of a blood-starved beast, with HP comparable to the boss fought in Old Yarnum. For this reason, it's important to take out these weaker enemies without alerting the mini-boss to your presence. Once it's time to slay the monster, having a light source becomes even more imperative. The darkness hides the enemy's signals, and without one, it's not possible to predict the beast's attacks before they hit you. If you can afford to sacrifice your left-hand weapon for the torch, its added light radius will give you a much-needed advantage. Killing the monster grants you a powerful blood gemstone, but even this is not the treasure we came for. A little deeper in the cave, against the far wall, lies the Amygdalin Arm. As gruesome as it sounds, this strength weapon is a sort of club-scythe hybrid. At 17 strength and 9 skill, the requirements aren't at all unreasonable, and based on its bizarre moveset, the right person should have a lot of fun with this weapon. That's all for the cave, so pick up the multiple upgrade stones strewn about and make your way back to the chapel shortcut. This time, take the right path to the River of Blood. The group of Bloodlickers found on the right guard the Constable Trousers, but I really recommend you fight these things rather than do what I did to pick them up. Either way, follow the path up ahead and make your way past afflicted dogs and toppled buildings. Eventually, after coming to the end of this Sanguine Aqueduct, use your gun to pull the old huntsman away from the horde of carrion crows so that you can fight him solo. Then the crows become a mere annoyance instead of a real threat. The wall at the far end sports an item on top. We can't reach it yet, but remember its location for now. Instead, turn to the left and climb this easy to miss ladder. Immediately after reaching the top, turn left again and drop onto the wooden beam just below. By crossing it, you can pick up the last piece of the Constable set. The Constable armor is the same worn by Walter, Master of the League, and his bucket helm serves as the official headgear for the set. The item description reads of Yarnum's hatred of foreigners, and seems to imply Walter might be from outside the city as well. Back up the ladder, take a left again, and drop onto the platform just below. Up ahead lies one of the hardest old huntsmen found in the nightmare so far, and honestly speaking, my first death in the DLC was to this guy. He uses a new weapon called the Beast Hunter's Scythe, which is fast, has long range, and deals an extraordinary amount of damage. I only achieved victory thanks to a well-timed Quicksilver bullet. The very same weapon can be picked up on the edge of this platform. Requiring 9 strength and 11 skill, the scythe is a precursor to the saw cleaver, and is actually much faster than its workshop descendant. Choosing between these two similar weapons is personal preference, but my vote undoubtedly goes to the scythe. The only way to proceed now is to drop down further, which wraps back around to the ladder from earlier. Climb the ladder once again and take the only remaining path, forward. The river continues below, but there are two giant executioners found up ahead. The far one stays relatively stationary, firing at you with the short range of its church cannon, while a hidden executioner on the left comes at you with an axe. While the firing of cannonballs seriously restricts your range of movement, the axe executioner can be killed on the ground. Another strategy is to climb back up the ladder and pelt the creature with consumable items from above. This doesn't make you immune from all its attacks, however, and ultimately, I've had mixed results with both strategies. The church cannon executioner is much less complicated, however, just getting close and continually dodge to the left or right. While the cannonballs can be hard to dodge, its damage is nothing compared to that of the axe. After taking out the first executioner, I should think most players will find this one to be easier. After both have been defeated, enter the path the axe executioner was using to hide. Assuming your back is to the ladder, it should be on the left. Here you can pick up the butcher set, the same armor worn by the NPC hunter from Forbidden Woods that drops Madara's whistle. The item descriptions give you some insight regarding the Madara's twins and the Forbidden Woods snakes in general. Last but not least, press forward on the path toward the church and step inside to light a much needed lamp. The downward stairs lead to the last detour we must take before the boss. Immediately at the bottom of the stairs, there's an opportunity to summon the NPC Old Hunter Henriette. She can be useful against the upcoming boss, but for this video, I'll be fighting him solo. Take out the scurrying beast just ahead, and mine the shadow on the far wall, warning you of an old huntsman ambush. This one uses the ever-common beast cutter, but unlike the others, this particular huntsman prefers to use the untransformed state. While you might imagine that the short of range of the weapon would work in your favor, the addition of charge attacks to the enemy's repertoire in some ways actually makes this fight more difficult. Drop into the alleyway below and follow it to the end. At the peak of this rock, you may pick up the item we spotted from the ladder, the Whirligig Saw. This fascinating strength weapon requires 18 strength and 12 skill. Its untransformed state is a simple mace that serves as the handle to the saw, and the transformed state is the pizza cutter everyone loves. This is also the favorite weapon of Volter, as it goes. Dropping off the rock will place you back in front of the ladder from earlier, but be warned that if you use the lamp to return to the dream, all of the enemies will have respawned between this point and your destination. After making your way back to the lamp, walk straight out of the church and up the hill up ahead. Keep right and take out the witch hiding in the corner to disrupt a future ambush. Also note that you can kill the non-hostile hollow enemy banging against the gate here, which always drops 5 blood vials. This is a great way to replenish vials, especially since the upcoming boss can be relatively difficult. That's all for item collection, so follow the river into the building ahead and prepare for the fight against Ludwig.
Please, help us. Alongside this, the great terror looms. Ludwig is coming. Have mercy. Have mercy upon us.
This beast fits the definition in every possible way, and has 2 phases to his encounter. The first is marked by quick movement and long-reaching charge attacks, which can be difficult to avoid, as well as a jump attack that lingers in the air for longer than you might expect. The key to avoiding this attack in particular is to run rather than roll. By holding down circle and leading Ludwig around the arena, this attack will miss every time. It can be harder to dodge his charge attack, but there is an audio cue that happens right before. Once you register that this sound means charge, it gets a little easier. As for his short-range kicks, there isn't a lot of warning. I suppose this means that you should get in close for a few hits and quickly dodge back out, but some of these attacks come out so quickly that even this seems difficult to pull off. Lastly, he has a side-sweeping acid spray attack that you can obviously avoid by running in tandem with the spray, but seeing that it did little damage compared to his other attacks, I find myself using this as an opportunity to deal some damage on Ludwig. This tanky move can only be done with a decent amount of HP, clearly, and becomes less viable as you enter increasingly difficult New Game Pluses, I'm sure. After hitting the halfway point on the boss's HP bar, the second phase will begin.
You were at my side all along. My true mentor, my guiding moonlight.
While this phase does grant Ludwig a new weapon, I found the Moonlight Sword's arcane damage to be much less threatening than the physical damage of his first phase. Although getting in close for the first half of the phase is generally a bad idea, the second phase couldn't be more different. Staying in close and dodging behind Ludwig is the best thing you can do during the second phase, seeing that his only way to counter it is this slow-acting AoE that's easily avoided. By dashing in close again right after the blast goes off, even Ludwig's dangerous long-range Moonlight Blast attack can be totally avoided. Kill Ludwig to acquire the Guidance Rune, which increases the amount of HP reacquired through the game's regain mechanic. Once the boss has been slain, you may speak to the head of Ludwig lying against the stairs.
Good hunter, have you seen the thread of light? Just a hair, a fleeting thing. Yet I clung to it, steeped as I was in the stench of blood and beasts. I never wanted to know what it really was. Really, I didn't.
Also, if you're wearing one of the church-related chess pieces, you're given an additional dialogue from the old hunter.
Tell me, good hunter of the church, have you seen the light? Are my church hunters the honorable Spartans? I hoped they would be. Oh my! Just as I feared. Then a beast-possessed degenerate was I, as my detractors made eminently clear. Does the nightmare never end?
Strike him one last time to obtain the Holy Moonlight Sword, which requires 16 Strength, 12 Skill, and 14 Arcane. This greatsword can be used both one-handed or two-handed, and can even be used to launch waves of moonlight at enemies, at the cost of a Quicksilver bullet. With Ludwig defeated, and his prized sword in hand, light the lamp and return to the Hunter's Dream for now.